Hey man, I'm just going to quickly go through the menu settings on my Triumph radio. Alright, so to enter the menu, to access the menu, just hit enter. And I'm sorry if it looks washed out. In person, it's very clear text on here, but it looks, for some reason, with my crappy camera on my phone, it's really washed out looking. But anyway, I promise you, you can read it from probably 10 feet away. It's not washed out looking like this. And the menu looks yellow here and lime green down here through the camera, but I can assure you in the menu, the keypads and everything looks more like this color here. It's more of a yellow-green color rather than this lime green. But anyway, you access the menu by pressing enter. Then you press enter again to actually enter the menu. Then there's your receive CTCSS. All the first few are going to be tones for the receive side, DCS, and then there's your transmit side. Go through all those. Your power setting, high, low, medium, whatever. Wideband versus narrowband. And you just scroll through the menu by hitting the up or down, the plus or minus on this keypad. That's just for voice compression. And SRMR, I think that has something to do with, I believe, the voice encryption settings, which is just the, I believe it's just voice inversion is all. But going past that, there's your offset, positive or negative. You can see it here on the menu. Just at a quick glance, I have type plus. That's because I've got it set to a positive offset for the repeater I've got programmed. That's your how many kilohertz of offset you're using for your transmit and receive tones, or transmit and receive frequencies. That is the step is for like the step up in frequencies whenever you're scanning through. So I like granularity, so I typically set mine to a 2.5. That's where you program in channel memories. Delete the channel memory. That's your LED backlight display. I've got mine set to auto, but you can override the auto setting. When you have it set to auto and you don't touch anything for a while, the backlight turns off after about 10 seconds. But I've overridden it to where it disabled auto when I'm using it a lot. So the way you do that is, it's just a really quick menu shortcut. You press enter 2 and it turns itself off. But next time you hit a key, it turns itself on. But again, I've got mine set to auto. Whenever you don't touch a key for about, I think it's 5 to 10 seconds, yes, there you go, it turns itself off. But again, you can override that by hitting menu 2 as a shortcut. So we'll go back into the menu by pressing enter and enter again. And it left off right where we're at. We're on menu number 19 right now. You can see right there. There's your beep. I keep it turned on. Ring, just for ringing out the radio. BCL, I can't remember offhand what that meant. I used to. I should look that up. Hold on. That repeater is about 22.5 miles away, and that is the one I talk on with this radio a good bit. But yeah, 22.5 miles is not bad for this little thing. Oops. TOT, talk out timer, I just turned that off. That's, you probably know what that is, but basically if you just hold down the PTT for too long, it just shuts you off automatically, but I keep it turned off so it won't do it to me. Tone, DTM, I think this is to do with DTMF tones again. Squelch, this is your repeater function. You turn it on or off, and then typically, I think, best I remember, the top frequency is your transmit frequency and the lower one is your receive. DTMF, ANI ID, I think this has to do with like the station ID, if I'm not mistaken, when you're doing stuff with DTMF or ringing another radio, I think, but don't quote me on that. I literally never use it. That's your volume switch. It just lets you configure if you're assigned to the potentiometer as your volume switch or the up-down arrow keys over here. I've got mine set to this because I get more audio gain off this, and I'm just solely using the potentiometer on top as a power switch. Speaker, right now I've actually got mine, even though all the tone, all the audio is coming through the Harris hand mic, mine's still set to internal because this one was able to detect that this was attached to it. So I didn't have to turn it to external. But the two menu functions there is literally just inside or external. And you to back out of a menu, you just hit clear, and I'll show you right quick. See, that's set to inside. To confirm it, you just hit enter again, but if I wanted to select outside, I would click external and confirm it by hitting enter again. But again, this thing detects it either way. I think the only time I've ever had to actually set it external was when I was using a U94 Peltor PTT and my Peltor headset. Mic type, that's just dynamic, or I think CAP is capacitance. So like that's the civilian mic, that's your military mic. I've got it set to dynamic and haven't really ever had to change it. And then reset, that's just to reset and blow away the config in the radio. Essentially return it to factory defaults. Then you hit up again, and you're back to the menu number 1. So, hope that explains some things. I'm still using the standard whip antenna that came with the radio. And, yeah, I've actually been able to hit that repeater on this and haven't really seen a need to replace that with anything yet. I mean, I've been pretty happy with the performance of that antenna, so there's that. And then, like, one other thing, too, to talk about on the switches, on this side of the radio, I don't know how the TCA is, but you click this, and that pops you down into the other frequency. Hit it again, you bounce back up into the former one. And this thing automatically does dual channel monitoring, so, I mean, it doesn't matter which one you have it set to. You're going to transmit on whichever one it's set to, but you can receive on either one. It'll monitor both at the same time. And again, that's your PTT button, and there's your volume switch. Here's the potentiometer on top. Again, that's the volume switch, but for me, I'm using it as a power. And then here's your voice mode switch. PT is the voice compression, but again, I keep mine turned on all the time. So for me, PT and LD, which would be a regular voice mode, they're one of the same. And you can, and I've actually got it turned off right now. But you can see right there, the little 2 dashes went away when I put it into the middle position, LD. Pop it back over to PT, and the PT showed up in the right corner. Flip it back over to the center position again. That goes away. And then all the way over is CT, as you can see it pop up there next to the dynamic, and that would be your voice inversion. But again, I've not been able to get this 2023 model to talk to that other model that is an unknown year model. I'm pretty sure when they're both set to CT, being they can't really talk to one another, it just comes across really garbled. Pretty sure it's because it's 2 different firmware versions. But put it back into compression mode. I've been really happy with the compression mode on the radio. I actually have noticed a slight difference in audio quality, so it really actually does do something. And again, been really happy with the performance of this unit. It's definitely better than my Baofeng, even though a lot of people compare them to cheap Baofengs. I'll say this, my Baofengs never communicated clearly at all to that repeater that's 22.5 miles away. And a while back, I was talking on it, and they were like, yeah, man, we're reading you loud and clear. So, but again, I wasn't in my house. I was outside of my garage, or not in my garage, but outside my garage, like in the driveway. And, but I've transmitted from that same spot before with the best Baofeng I have, with a ridiculous one of those knockoff foldable blade antennas, and I still struggled to reach that repeater clearly. So, anyway, that's that. I really do like the performance of it, and if you got rid of your TCA and got one of these, I think you'd be happy. So, take care.